Okay, you guys, well, welcome to our very first just skills call with the Boom Squad. How many of you are excited for this? Super, super excited. So you guys know we came off a VP retreat weekend, and this is why we're bringing this to you. But before I talk about that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Shannon Blas. I'm an executive national vice president. I've been in Arbonne for 17 years. If I have not had the privilege of meeting you in person, I am really excited for this collaboration, and I hope that I get to meet you in Vegas in June for GTC, which I'm going to talk about. But I want to welcome everybody onto this call. So we've got a collaboration. So if you are part of Amy Godak's team, Carrie Kane, Danielle Lover, Kelly Silva, Kimberly Hawkins, Laura Lance, Mary Jane Archer, Mickey Lover, Nicolette Drain, Nikki Smith, Pam Fisher, myself, Shannon Wenzel, Tara Harrington, Tara Landis, or Tori Brandt, you are part of the Boom Squad. So if you didn't know that you were part of that, you are. And that is what we do, is kind of get together once a year for a VP retreat. So Shannon Wenzel did a phenomenal job this year of organizing and doing it very different than we've ever done. And I think many of us who've been in Arbonne for a little while, some of you may be brand new, maybe you've been in your Arbonne business just for a few months, maybe a few years, maybe many years. A lot of times we hear trainings and we hear motivation and we hear people's stories and we hear about making decisions and deciding and just going for it and all these things. And I think that is amazing for vision. We all need vision, and we're going to do some of that. But how many of you just want skills? You want to learn how to build your social media brand. You want to learn how to kind of do some attraction marketing. You want to just really build your brand. And I think one of the things that's kind of changed in Arbonne that we talked about a lot this weekend is we used to always say the best copycat wins, just do what everyone's doing. And I kind of feel like being your most authentic self wins. And that's what we kind of want to work on, is just branding yourself and doing that. So tonight, we are going to kick off with just creating your pillars. And this is something that I did as one of our trainings in Dallas. So in Dallas, we had a ChatGPT training, we had a Canva training, we had a build your brands and pillars training, we had different ways to build social media. How many of you want to know how to use the app a little bit better? Just tips on that. These Monday nights, we are going to bring you so many practical tips, but we're going to do it in a way that you're actually going to have time tonight to create the 5 pillars that I'm going to teach you about. Okay. And some of you may have already done this, but maybe this will help you fine tune it. For some of you, this is going to be something that, you're like, gosh, I never really thought of things that way. So what we want to do is bring you ideas, implementation, and things you can work on each week. How does that sound to everybody? Does everybody think that that sounds good? I would love for you guys to type in the chat where you're tuning in from. Can you guys all do that first? Because I want to see where everybody's from. We have people from all over, and we're all coming together and collabing. Another thing that we might do is, if we're talking about a topic, you guys, and you want to be part of like an accountability group, you're like, gosh, I'd really love to work with someone on one of the topics that we cover. This is another way that you can get to know your sidelines. Some of my favorite things about Arbonne are my sideline relationships with people who I have met that are not specifically on my team, but they're friendships and different, relationships that we've built. So we will also want to bring that to all of you. Okay. So because this is the first Monday of the month, I am just going to review really quick. You guys all know about the buy one, get one free fizz. You know about the strawberry protein that we get for free. One thing I do want to touch on is the GTC early bird registration. That is going for the whole month of, what month is it? November. It's going for the whole month of November. It's $199. You guys, I've been in Arbonne for 17 years. I don't think it's ever been $199. If it has, maybe one time. It is the lowest registration I've ever seen. So clearly they want everybody there. You can also do 3 payments of $66.34. And if you register by tomorrow, you get this little, thank you, Tara. If you guys all look at Tara Harrington, you get this fabulous little, I think it goes on like a water bottle with like a zipper, so you can never lose your phone or your wallet or anything if you've got that on your cup. So just a little added incentive. I will say, do whatever possible to be at GTC. I will say that. And, you know, a lot of times it's for the vision that you're casting for the team that you're attracting. You want people to see what you're a part of. And when you participate in events, people see that you're part of a larger community more than you just posting about your fizz and your protein. So if it's possible, get yourself registered. If you're overwhelmed a little bit financially, 3 payments of $66. Again, Arbonne has never had this available to us. So I wanted to just talk about that briefly. Okay, are you guys ready for the training? Okay, I love that there's 54 places that you guys are all from, and we have 52 participants on. So if you're listening to the recording, thank you for that. We will post these recordings as well. For those of you that are on live and have your cameras on, thank you. It makes it so nice for the trainers to see all of you on here. So let's get started. How many of you, just raise your hand. I can only see one screen right now, but how many of you know what like 5 brand pillars are? Like when you go, what are my brand pillars? Do you guys all feel pretty comfortable with that? Or are you kind of like, I don't know. Okay, from the screen I see, I don't see anybody going like, I got this. So the goal of these trainings, you guys, is to give you some basic skills. And then Miss Nikki Smith had the fabulous idea, and I'm not sure if she volunteered to organize this or not. So we'll talk about that behind the scenes. But we are going to have these recordings uploaded, hopefully into like a YouTube library, so that you will have these recordings for your new consultants and for new people to go, hey, we got to get your 5 brand pillars created. Jump on this training, listen, and then let's talk. So we're really trying to utilize technology and just recordings and collaboration to make your job as easy as possible. And as you start jumping on these Monday calls, you're going to see how valuable they are. I think those of us that were there this weekend did not realize, even if you think you know how to use Canva or the app or ChatGPT or, you know, social media, trust me, you're going to walk away with at least one idea, one thing that is going to take your business and your confidence to the next level. So that's what we really want to focus on with these calls. So 5 brand pillars. I hope you all have a piece of paper, because my goal is in the next 22 minutes, when you hang up on this call, you're going to know your 5 brand pillars. Okay. So let's talk about those. Basically, what this means is, you know how when you kind of think about Arbonne, you're like, oh, well, we have skincare and nutrition and we have something for everybody. I remember we used to say we have products from the casket or from the basket to the casket. That was like an old saying. But I really want you to kind of think about, with the way things are working now, you're probably going to attract who you are. Okay. So like when you're thinking about you as a person, I want you to think about, you know, we kind of talk about like your core 4 products. So you think about, what are your favorite products in Arbonne, right? So basket to casket, right? That is a classic, Allison. So kind of 4 things that you know you love about Arbonne. We have 400 products, but if you talk about 400 products, you're never able to really tell a story around what you love about Arbonne. So that's going to kind of probably be another training that we do, but I do think it's good to, they call it like your core 4. So for many of us, it might be Green Gut Glow. It might be the new Essential Meal Shake. It might be the Derm Advanced. Maybe you're someone who absolutely loves the self tanner. You know, it could be anything. Maybe you love, I don't know, fill in the blank. But when you get really specific and you continually share a message, that starts to create some attraction marketing. Okay. So I want you guys to write down just really quick, kind of what your core 4 are. What are your core 4 products that you really think that before I started using this, or maybe this is like a problem that it solved, or this is what it helped you with, or this is how it made you feel. For some of you, it might be a 30 Days to Healthy Living program. For some of you, it might be Green Gut Glow. Maybe it's a healthy habit set. Maybe it's the new Green Synergy Elixir. And again, I know we're kind of streaming in on some packages, and I don't want to go into like systems like that, but I do want you to understand, as I'm talking about pillars, that when you get really specific, you guys, and you kind of brand yourself, what's interesting is you tend to attract more. And I'm going to give you a couple stories in what I've been working on, and kind of what's happened in my business with some attraction. So does everybody have their core four? Core four. Okay. It does not mean you can't post about any other things. It just means that you're getting some good testimonials about those. Okay. All right. So people are typing in the chat some of their core four. Okay. So with that, we're going to talk about identifying your 5 brand pillars. And the coolest part, you guys, is Abby's pillars are going to be different than Maddie's, and Tanya's are going to be different than Catherine's, and Kaya's are going to be different than Kim's. Okay. Everybody's going to be different. But when we share these at the end and you type in the chat, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I kind of like that pillar. So know that when you pick these, it doesn't mean you have to stick with them. It just means that you're getting a little laser focused on how you want to show up on your social media, okay? And kind of your brand. So I want you to think about what you're passionate about, all right? So let me start with, I think it might be fun. I'll start with my 5 pillars so you guys kind of know how to break this down, okay? So my 5 pillars are, number 1 is my Thriving to 50 brand, right? I am going to be 53 on Friday. I'm owning my age, and I am posting a lot about thriving to 50. Okay, so that's one pillar. That's super important to me. I wrote a journal, so that's another pillar that has to do with the Thriving to 50. Another huge one for me is mindset. If anyone knows me, it's mindset, it's gratitude. I just really get locked in on that. It's super important to me. Number 4 is clean health, beauty, nutrition, clean recipes, meal inspo. Like that to me kind of blocks one pillar. And the last one is I'm an empty nester. And with empty nesting, it's kind of travel, new adventures. So do you guys kind of see those are my pillars where I'm at in my stage of life? Okay. So now I want you guys to think about, what are you passionate about? So these can be topics, they can be causes, they could be activities, but what are you generally like? What is 1 or 2 that you're genuinely excited about that inspires you? Now, when you're on social, you do kind of want to gear it towards your business. Did you notice not one of my pillars is Arbonne, right? But with clean health, clean beauty, travel, all these things, Arbonne is a part of all of those. But I'm not just posting Arbonne, it's going to tie into one of those pillars. Okay. So think about things that you would, here's another great question to ask yourself. What would you do happily? What would you happily do or talk about even if you weren't getting paid for it? Okay, so I'm going to start asking you guys a bunch of questions. I'm just going to go down these and just take some notes as I'm asking these. What are some of your core values? What are principles or values that matter most to you in life? Is there something that is really important that could be one of your pillars? What maybe makes you unique or different from others in your niche? So everyone that does Arbonne, what makes you unique? Do you have some kind of a story, some kind of a transformation, some kind of a, change that's happened? And maybe one of your cores could be, or one of your pillars could be something about what you did before Arbonne or what you're doing alongside Arbonne, or, that kind of thing that makes you a little bit different. Any personal experiences or perspectives that bring you to like the brand of Arbonne? Like, is clean health and beauty important to you? Are ingredients important to you? What about the Arbonne brand is important to you? Could that be a pillar where maybe you're talking about Arbonne, but then other things that fit into that? And then who's your target audience? So defining the demographics and interests of people that you want to reach. So those are kind of the questions. So I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to we're just going to give 2 more minutes of just quiet. And as soon as you start getting some of your pillars, if you guys want to start typing those in the chat, and then we're going to go over some of these and then do a couple more things. So just spend some time defining your 5 pillars. I love Allison's holistic wellness and beauty. We worked on these this weekend. Homeschooling, childbearing phase of life, motherhood, mindset. Kelly Schaefer, clean, non-toxic living, life over 50, positivity, inspiration, grandma life, dance. See how these, think about how you're unique. So good. We've got Tara's, let's see, Christina has dance, positive energy, optimism, newlywed, adventurous, strong mindset, clean eating, ingredients. I love these. Doesn't it kind of nice to get clear on these, you guys? Does it feel like, okay, another new message. I'm not going to read all these. These are awesome though. Awesome, awesome. Oh, Kesey, a new mama. Kesey is pregnant with her first baby. That's so fun. I love it. Okay. So let's do one more minute and we'll get these. Kelly Silva gave us a taste of her country girl life in Dallas. I love it. Okay. All right. So hopefully if you're listening to the recording as well, you guys, you're writing these down. So if you didn't get a chance to write down all 5, what I would love for you guys to do is message your VP your 5. Okay. So message your VP or an accountability group or somebody and get someone's opinion. Because what we did in Dallas is we kind of said ours out loud. And then if people know you, they might go, well, that's awesome. But have you ever thought about that? Or you can combine a couple of them. Here's the interesting part, you guys. I was telling the girls this weekend, I just sponsored 2 new consultants, right? And I've been working a lot on this branding. And I will tell you, one is my age. Not shocking, right? Because that's kind of what I've been attracting. But I also met a gal who's in her 20s, who's a newlywed. She's getting, I met her in the Bahamas on the AIT trip. And I was like, I don't have to just attract someone who's 52 if I own who I am, because now I can help you own who you are. So don't be scared that you're going to pigeonhole yourself. Right? So when you show up confidently in who you are, then you can show other people how to do that same thing. Because I was kind of thinking that I'm like, well, I don't want to, I mean, no offense to anyone who's 52, but I was like, I don't want to just attract a bunch of old people, right? I want some young people. And I could say that since I am that age. But I was like, wait, don't think scarcity. Don't think that if you start really kind of identifying who you are and who you want to be on social, that you're going to not attract people, other people. The reason why these 5 pillars are so important, you guys, is just so that you can confidently show up and know what to do. Some of you are killing social media, and I'm sitting here training you, and you could be training us. Many of you have skills way more than I have. But there's a lot of times I sit and I just feel empty in my head. I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know what to post. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to bring value. I watch other people's stories and reels and I feel even less inspired because I'm like, they're so good. I don't know how to do that. And I just start to play these mind tricks with myself. And then I'm like, forget it. I'll just post tomorrow. Right. And then I don't do anything. And so what this has done for me to identify these pillars is now I have ideas. I'm like, okay, now I can go, all right, I need to post something today. So what do I want to post about? Right. And when we start learning about how to gather information from ChatGPT searches and stuff, you guys are going to be mind blown with how easy some of this is going to get for you. But you have to know your brand first. That's why we decided to start with this training, was to just be able to just really clarify that. So my brand pillars have changed many times over the years. So again, don't think that once you pick these that you're locked into them. I know Tara Harrington's like a baseball mama right now. I was a baseball mama for years. I'm not anymore. So that's not going to be a pillar anymore, right? Nikki Smith and I were talking this weekend, she's got girls in college, but still has, her son at home. So it's like, she's got two different things and not that many years left with the kiddos at home. So that transitions. I know Tanya's now a grandma. She's going to be a grandma to another grandbaby. Like, we all have pillars that are moving constantly. But if you're trying to be the healthiest, best version of you, and you're giving valuable information through your pillars, it just starts to build who you are. People want to follow you. You can start working on some of the attraction marketing. So I would love to just kind of open this up a little bit for does anybody, first of all, have any questions? Does anyone want to share their pillars? Was this helpful? Just kind of maybe give some thumbs up. Mindset. Okay, people are just commenting all kinds of things. Oh, people are putting their ages in. Sorry. Yeah, you guys are not old. If you're 57, Lori Johnson, you look amazing. And Carol, you're 65. You are goals, my friend. But you know what I mean? You don't want to attract 65-year-olds. You want to attract 65-year-olds and 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, right? At least I do. That's how we keep our business like young and fresh. So any comments or anything that anyone wants to add that maybe was at the retreat this weekend or anything? Super helpful, Andrea said. Okay, just kind of read some of these comments. What are the guidelines for posting our 5 stories, regular post cycle? So Mary Jane, that's the thing. Shannon Wenzel is going to dive deeper with us on social media. I have no systems in place, to be honest. Some people are much more organized, but what I will do is one of the things that a couple of social media tips. And again, this is just how I'm doing it. So many of you on here could teach a much better version of this. But what I learned on a podcast that's really helpful for me is kind of recording throughout your day. So like if you're making a shake, just record it. If you're making a fizz, record it. If you're out for a walk, record it. If you're, eating like a really healthy meal that's 30-day friendly, record it. If you are, just whatever, you just have some video on your phone. And it doesn't mean you're going to use it at that moment. You're just kind of recording snippets of your day. If you've got kiddos, like let's look at some of these brands and we can think about some videos. Like if your brand is, let's pick May Miles. So wholesome living. So, okay, throughout your day, if you're doing some wholesome living, could be a lot of different things, but I'm going to focus a little more on like the clean eating. So if you're doing the clean eating, maybe it's the meals or different recipes, or if you go to the store, what you got, like your grocery cart, like you could just record whatever, right? Just like whatever like videos. And then you have faith. So maybe you have some devotionals, maybe you have some different books that you're reading. Maybe you want to just record some of the things or take pictures. Motherhood. So it's just, if you want your kiddos on there, you could record some different things or maybe activities you're doing with them. Aging gracefully. That one could be almost anything. But the point is when you then are getting ready to like look at your pillars and go, okay, I want to create some posts, right? I want to create something. What you can do is come up with like the idea. Maybe it's like, 5 tips for getting protein at each meal or something like that. You can go back to one of your videos where you were recording just some food and just put that over the top. Because I think sometimes for me, I'll want to record and then I'm like, oh, but I don't have any video, right? Or I don't feel like recording today because I have a baseball hat on and I'm not ready. So the days that you get ready, I know Shannon Wenzel said that too. She'll just record random things and she may or may not use it. So I don't know if that's a good tip for people, but I started doing that. And I actually it's kind of nice. I just have random videos on my phone. And if you're organized, which I'm working on that, it's been a lifelong goal to be organized. But I try to create another file folder in my phone that's just like Instagram, like videos. Like you could, when you do stuff, you could just put them in there so you're not scrolling through your phone. I mean, I have so many video or stuff on my phone. So like kind of throwing it into a folder. If it's a video about your 5 pillars. Again, there's some of you on here that are way more organized than that. This is just 101 basics, but there are things that have helped me. And just create stuff over like if you're out and about or you see just different things, just think about what you can just add for video. So those are pretty much, that's what I have. Making a folder right now, Heather. Yes. See, I just never even thought of that. I listen to a lot of podcasts and try to get ideas and then try to implement. So, anything that anyone else wants to add before we wrap it up? Love the folder idea. Okay. One of my pillars is not organization, right? I know. Seriously. If someone has a pillar that is organization, please tag me. I want to follow you for your organizational tips, right? That's actually a really good pillar. You're going to get a lot of people, right? People are saying same. Like, definitely think of it like that. Like, you want people to follow you because you are giving them valuable information in your life. Then Arbonne is part of it, right? Your products are part of it. Your events and different things that you do with Arbonne are a part of it. I can't tell you how many people have said to me, just because of the events I get to do with Arbonne, with AIT and the retreats and travel, they're like, your life looks like you are always gone and traveling. You have so much fun with your business. And I tell them, I'm like, I have a blast with my business. I work my booty off with my business, but I have so much fun. Are you showing fun with your business? Or are you just showing products? Because if you're just showing products, that's probably not attraction marketing. But if you're showing how you're using things in your life, and especially those of you that have kiddos, how do you feed your kids healthy? What are some healthy tips for kids? If you have kids, like, I know, just like behavior stuff, a lot of mamas are homeschool mamas. Are you kidding? That's a whole pillar, right? I'm sure so many moms might be considering that, or dads might be considering that. You could be that person that's a resource for them, right? So think about what you're doing in your life right now and how that could help someone, including yourself. Because then if you call out a pillar, if I'm calling out I'm thriving to 50, I kind of need to do the daily habits that make me thrive. And if I don't, I'm not being authentic to my brand. So it kind of calls you out as well, which I kind of like that accountability. Not that we're all trying to be perfect in our pillars, but if you want to, if you're going to do organization, you might even be more organized than you are now. And you're going to let all of us know in the Boom Squad how you do it, and we're going to follow you. Okay, that's it. It is 5:29. I'm going to finish up a minute early. Again, you guys, I am so happy that we all get to be together. You all have absolutely incredible leaders. I'm so excited for all of you to rise up. I know that when you get really crystal clear with your business, you build your confidence. That is how you start building, promoting, attracting, having a team, and you know what to plug them into. We have great systems in place. We are working on all kinds of stuff. So I can hardly wait to see it all evolve and just to help all of you. And if you have ideas for these skills calls, please reach out to your VP. Let us know. We are so open for suggestions, but 100% message your VPs right after you listen to this call and tell them your 5 brand pillars. Okay? Love you guys. Have an awesome night, and we will see you next Monday night. Bye.